Okay, in this video I want to share with you guys cuz I'm not perfect as well, okay? And I don't have that many friends anymore as far as where I live and who I can really align with and who are actually chasing success and so on. And your road to success can feel very very lonely at times. Okay? And when you're lonely and things like that, most of the time you're gonna go out maybe alone. Maybe you travel a lot. Maybe you wanna, find good people. You wanna find some girls, when you solo travel. So this is about solo traveling and how you can sort of build a bit of a social circle despite being there for a couple of weeks. So I myself, I've been in Bangkok and Seoul for a few weeks, 18 days, both of them. Bangkok was quite interesting, and there's certain things I noticed and certain opportunities where I could have definitely approached, but I didn't. We all get that sometimes. We have this approach anxiety. I still have it to this day. But when you're by yourself, sometimes you don't get that extra push to do it. Okay, so that's where I want to go with this. But I want to really emphasize on where you could approach, and it would be so easy because she's given you all the hidden sort of signals that she wants to be approached. And these are things that I really noticed lately, but especially in Bangkok I got a lot of these signals because women are a bit more outgoing there. They want to meet you, they want to meet foreigners, because they look good. I mean, if you look like me, man, I'm not bragging, never mind. I'm just saying, if you take good care of yourself, take good care of your looks, have good charisma, people are going to be drawn to that, honestly. Okay. First thing I noticed, and you probably heard that, okay, but a lot of girls that want to be approached, they will they'll have this eye contact with you. Not just any eye contact. It's just that eye contact that lasts a little bit too long. A little bit too long. Almost like she's staring. Maybe there's no facial expression, anything like that, but she's really staring you for an extra second or two, okay? And then kind of looks away and kind of does her thing, but stays within your orbit. Even better, if she kind of gets closer to your orbit in any way, shape, or form, this is a strong sign that, bro, you gotta go make that move. Just say hi at this point. Just say hi, and it'll be like a warm inbound lead. It's not gonna be like a cold call or a cold approach. This is a strong sign that you could approach and could possibly have a very, very positive interaction. Okay. Number two, if you're by yourself, go to things that you like doing, like the gym, or I don't know, if you like bouldering, just like going to the beach, going on little tours where, a lot of single people are also going to meet other people. Like on Airbnb, there's lots of experiences, on the tab you can select. You can go onto events and meet people that way. There's almost also there's nightlife sort of events where you're 10, 15 people, there's a host, and you guys are going to different bars and so on, and you can meet great people that way. If you do that in the beginning of your trip, you meet a couple cool guys where they're also interested to game. You can have potential wingman there. Or if you want to save cash, because these, in Bangkok, I think we're around 60, $70 a night, but plus drinks and whatever covers. But that's not too much, right? You could also just go out by yourself. But, you sometimes you need balls, especially if you're sober, you haven't drank anything, not planning on drinking. If you're sober like me when you go out, most of the time, not always, I like a few drinks once in a while. But it can be tough sometimes, especially if you go to speakeasy events, things like that. You'll notice there's lots of tables. People are, in groups. Beautiful women are usually in groups. Rarely will you find them all by themselves? That would be mostly for day game. You know, daytime you can find lots of lovely ladies that are by themselves, and you know, I think you can have a lot of genuine connection on day game. Night game is a bit more crazy. The girls are wild a little bit more. You know, they dress up nice. They got a few drinks in them. They want to have fun with their girls. They want to dance, and you know they want to show off a little bit. So yes, there's much more volume. You're gonna have lots more interaction if you go at it. But as far as the quality, and if you're looking for a long term girlfriend, you know that's probably not the top one spot. But if you want to up your social skills, and if you want to get past the fear of going out alone, that can be like very good for your personal development. So, you know, I would go to bars and try to chat up to people as soon as you get in. Try to chat up to one person. Could be a guy, could be a girl, could be an old guy, man. Just start being social. Start yapping, and eventually you'll get that social momentum. You know, just erase the thought of having to pull that night, having to sleep with a girl. Okay, just going out to have fun, socialize, and being the life of the party just by being yourself, by yourself. You know, that's really where the growth can be at. Okay, but if you can find a wingman by doing things you like around the city, gyms, things like that, live like a local, and that's where you're gonna meet locals that actually live a pretty cool life where you are. So that would be my strategy. And you'll notice when you go out alone, let's say you meet a cool girl, okay, maybe she's not the prettiest, but if she sticks around, you'll start getting more attention with other girls. So that's where you can sort of, you know, have her sort of help you to get other girls, and that's where the momentum, you know, can go up. And you know, if you're with a six, it will attract the sevens, eights, and so on. I know it's gimmicky, but it is true. It is true. When girls see you with other girls, they're very curious and want to see like what's the deal with you. Like I was with a girl in Bangkok. She was pretty hot, but every time we would go to clubs together, I mean, a lot of girls were looking at me as well. And you know, it just shows that girls are very competitive, you know, when they see you, you know, with another girl, because they want to have you. You're the prize, and that's how it should be. Okay. Other signs. So she goes into your orbit, gives you strong high contact, strong signal. Let's say you go shopping. You know, she can maybe ask your opinion on something, uh, and you'll be surprised. You know, lots of it's not because she works somewhere and that you know she starts chatting you up, that it's just to get money out of you. Sometimes you know they're interested, they want to know more about you, and you know for them it's a low barrier way of introducing themselves and chatting you up. So that could be a good strategy, or just going in malls by yourself. I mean, malls is pretty much social. I mean, you can go wherever you want. People are not going to judge you. You're just in the mall, and you can go into stores, and you know there's lots of volume there, lots of pretty ladies. You know, food markets, things like that. You know, there's lots of things you can see. You can ask your opinion on, and literally you could walk up to them and notice something about them or something that they bought, and just start opening the conversation that way. Doesn't have to be like a grandiose open, just something you noticed around you. And then, you know, she will give you the signal whether she wants to be approached or not. And always make it fun. Don't take yourself too seriously, but have the mindset in mind that I want you to stop. You're going to talk to me. And when you have this attraction, and you show it through your words, you know, you think about it, you think about things you want to do to her, things like that. uh, she's gonna feel that, and if you feel confident in yourself that you know she wants to be stopped and she wants to talk to you, and when you secretly want her to leave, this is where things, gets a little bit creepy and weird. But if you're very, very, very confident in yourself and you want to do things to her, not in a weird way, guys, okay? I'm not saying go creep them out sexually and be a fucking weirdo, okay? No, just believe in yourself and you're a man, she's a woman, you can get the job done. Just kind of that mentality. She'll feel it and you know, she'll play along and the conversation will flow effortlessly, okay? And make sure it's man to woman. Make sure your intent is there. The more indirect, the better. When I say indirect is, you don't say, hey, I like you, let's hang out sometime. It's more like you say a compliment, then you say something funny to push her away, things like that. And just make the conversation fun. Okay, whatever she says, sometime misinterpret it, okay, in a funny way. And yeah, just focus on having a good conversation with her. Okay. And then you'll slowly start building contacts, hopefully. If you socialize, if you're always outside of the house, you'll meet people. I mean, it's bound to happen. But focus on doing things you love. Stop putting too much pressure on yourself that you need to achieve X, Y, and Z. Just focus on going out and go where the flow, go where the wind blows, I guess. Stop wondering, because I used to do this a lot, where I would look on Google Maps and I would look at like the white, not the white, the yellow spots where it says like busy area. And I always try to walk through these places thinking that this is where all the fun's gonna be. So do you see how my mindset is when I did that? It's like I'm at the effect of things. I'm not at the cause. I want, like, I'm not making things happen. I'm letting things happen to me. So I was gonna go to places where I thought the fun was there, but where I was now was actually where the fun is because that's where I was. So stop trying to find all the good things and oh, I'm missing out because if you're in a new city and you don't know where you are and things like that, FOMO can really kick hard. But just focus on having maybe one, two options that you could do for the day. Do that, and then after that, kind of go where the wind blows. Kind of just go with the flow. And whatever you see, just say, hey, that's interesting. I'm gonna go check that out. Stop like trying to see like, oh, this is 5 kilometers away. Yeah, that looks fun. Yeah, I should probably go or my day's gonna be ruined. Like having this mindset it's not helpful. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I'm trying to think of other, like a funny story that happened in Bangkok when I met that girl. I was actually at the mall. I was just on my break. I was just eating lunch, and as I went up the stairs, there was literally a girl who came next to me and asked me for my contact info. Like her English wasn't the best, and I was like, okay, sure. And I tried chatting her up. She was very shy, but she kind of we kind of ended the conversation, and she DM'd me like 5 minutes later and said, "Oh, let me know when you're done with what you were doing and all that." And we hung out that way. First date was great. I mean, a little bit of a language barrier, but she had strong interest in me, and she was quite attractive, and we had a good time. And then later, a week after, we went out to a club where her friend, okay, his brother was opening a club. So we went to a club opening and, we had a great time there, free bottle service and things like that. So when you meet people, other things can unfold. You can have lots of opportunities if you're just social or just at least get out of the house and show up. You never know what might happen. And to me, like when I stop like obsessing about, oh, this looks like a busy area, I should go there, this do that, or I'm missing out. when I like suddenly let go of everything, it's like, you know what? Like, stop focusing on where to go, what to do. Just let go. Just focus on the present. And as soon as I did that, good things started to happen. So when you've just let go, when you end the battle of, trying to do the most fun thing ever or whatever, like, things are going to happen. Just trust yourself, you know. Obviously, by doing the work in my community, you'll become a higher level, a higher achiever, a better man. You're going to carry yourself better. You're going to create strong first impressions. And every time you walk into whether it's a store or a restaurant, things like that, people will notice. People will notice because you really stand out from the pack. And it's easy to stand out today. Just by doing that, people are going to start orbiting you a bit more, okay? And you're going to start noticing that. You're going to get way more looks from guys and girls. And working on your social skills on top of that, it's just going to really, really grow your social life. So, but you just got to show up. Do the work, okay? Do the work you've already been doing. Show up, and good things will happen, and cool events like what I just shared with you will start to unfold. But you got to show up. So, if you're interested, I have a community that I've started, okay, yesterday. It's called the C.U.T Brotherhood. And in there, we work on many, many aspects. Okay, this is like a full transformation to live an abundant life, drop 6 to 8% body fat, be your most charismatic self, elevate your voice, have a better booming voice, an engaging voice, and having the skill to talk and talk like I'm doing on camera with no script. Obviously, it's a work in progress. I'm just starting out, but I can slowly start seeing some progress already. There are certain words I say a lot, or I repeat myself, certain patterns I do, and I try to really adapt and, see what I just said it, and notice what I'm doing. So, from watching my body language to reading the transcript of the video to just hearing the audio, I can sort of pinpoint what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and what I need to improve on. And just like anything in life, that's how you get better. And also, obviously, in the community, we touch on dating. So, dating mastery, from how to elevate your social skills around women, like man to woman dynamics, from dating to relationships to even cold approach. And also, I want to eventually build on how to build like a social game, like social skills game. Because, cold approach is one thing, but social game is another one. And, because social game is like you're playing the dating game on steroids. Because if you already have the skills of cold approach, and now you're able to, create parties and, meet people usually that are higher level, that's how you can really, really live an abundant life. So this is like a growing community. I want to document it all. And I want us guys to push ourselves and just, you know, focus on weekly missions and really do practical things, not just talk about stuff. Because a lot of dating coaches, just coaches in general, they just talk about stuff, self improvement and red pill stuff and gossiping and things like that. And I want to deviate from that a little bit and actually do work that matters. Even though it's going to be on Zoom sometimes and things like that, there's drills that we can do to elevate our communication. Obviously, on the dating side, yes, there's dating apps, but I'm kind of against that. But this is more like, as far as dating, we can still talk about dynamics, things like that, but we can sort of do role play, things like that, and work on our game, our push and pull, our certain things we can say, like working on our improv skills so that we can, talk and talk and include also storytelling, things like that. So it's really exciting stuff. So it's free right now, guys. You have nothing to lose. Like, if you're looking to improve your body, like build a great fucking physique, I got 14 years of background in kinesiology. I've got, my nutrition certification. So I know how to get things done. I was an actor. You gotta look good on camera. You gotta look your best. I got like a 12-week workout program in there, how to really like build your own nutrition regimen for fat loss, for lean bulk. What's the best supplements for boosting your testosterone, lifestyle habits, things like that. So this is just one of the pillars of the community. Okay. And also tactical purpose, how to really find your goals and truly manifest that purpose that you want, because sometimes we're not living our own life, and that's why when we wake up every day we feel like this undertone and of unhappiness. And I want to help you not only start thinking more clearly, because with the nutrition and the fitness, I mean, this is going to boost everything. And once you can think more clearly, then we can jump on to tactical purpose and really find what we're meant to do. And at the same time, elevating our communication skill, our charisma, and our dating life, and all of this when it will encapsulate a dramatic transformation. And a lot can happen in under a year. So click the link down below, join the community, introduce yourself, and let's get things rolling. See you next time.